It's the NFL on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Bills and the Rams, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 22.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Rams. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. CD, everybody loves to see the deep ball. We know that. We got a couple of quarterbacks here who can really sling it. Josh Allen of the Bills, Matthew Stafford of the Rams.
I like your point there, partner, because it is back in vogue. And what I mean is taking the shots downfield, because for a long time in this league, it was all about precision passing, the West Coast offense. But now we've got a couple of guys here who'll take some shots downfield, and they have some receivers who can go get it.
And we are underway from SoFi Stadium. And no run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. There aren't too many guys who can do both. And at the end of many games, this guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well.
On first down, Allen. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. If they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
Second and 10. Allen going to throw. Flush to his right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Allen. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Let's go. A gain of 29 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 33. On play action, Allen. And that is caught. It's Davis. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. From the gun, it's Allen. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Now he's forced out, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Josh Allen taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bills are on the board first on the road here in L.A. Solid finish to the opening drive. And look, when you get down around the goal line, you have to account for his legs. We saw it right there.
Yeah, that's the added dimension to the offense, isn't it? Remember what the offensive line coach told us earlier this week? I told my guys, he's going to run it. We have to make sure he stays protected and give him an opportunity.
To try here for the extra point. And it's 7-0 Buffalo. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was Josh Allen using his legs to polish things off. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. The return is Brandon Powell. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken 1st overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Jordan Phillips gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. And they get to him right out of the gate. And this defense hoping that that's a harbinger of things to come.
Yeah, when you give up a first-place sack, makes your quarterback wonder if he's going to go to the sidelines and talk with his offense coordinator and head coach and say, hey, you know that game plan we put together? We might need to change it right now.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Throw left side complete. That's Davis. And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Allen now on 1st down. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
And that may have been incomplete, but he reminds me so much of when my dad used to take me to the baseball stadium and watch the home run hitters in batting practice. I'll get to the stadium early just to watch this kid throw it. He can throw it out of the stadium.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Allen. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle is going to be made at the Rams 35. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Here's Allen. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. When I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Stafford. Man open is Robinson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And he stopped immediately there. Jordan Phillips is the one on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Von Miller, he was the one getting in there, able to wreak his usual havoc.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So now the Rams send out the field goal team here. This a 43-yard attempt. And Gay knocks this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And here comes Diggs. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On the counter, this is Singletary. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised him a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped him well short of a 1st down.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. L.A. set to take over again on offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Throwing is Stafford. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought he were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score.
Hey, we got 4.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. He finds Robinson, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You got to hoping that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He'll get this underneath to Henderson. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, they're staring up at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Buffalo offense and Devin Singletary heading back out there. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggle, still winning here in the second quarter. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. To throw again on second down. Allen. The left side caught by Diggs. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll make it a second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Second and 5. To the air, Allen. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at the 15. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Bills. And even though they've got a halftime lead, they're likely devising ways as we speak to try and get a little more production from their passing game. Meanwhile, for the Rams, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. From the end zone, here comes Brandon Powell. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
That'll be swung out wide here for Henderson. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for L.A. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Throwing to start the drive. Allen, he'll air this one out deep for Davis. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those. But the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Allen to throw it. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. To throw, it's Allen. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive. And here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On 2nd and 9, Allen. This one caught by Crowder. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Allen. Touchdown, Bills. Gabriel Davis, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Tyler Bass now for the point after. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game.
makes the score.
So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. On the return is Powell. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Let's go.
And the LA offense ready for this next possession. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Push him back. Push him back. 49's the mic. Watch 49.
They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Let's go. 49. 49's the mic. 49. Hey, here I come. Here I come.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
49. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Tight end left. Tight end left. We got 4.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Looking underneath, he's got Akers. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw, Stafford. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On the handoff, running left is Akers. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Stafford now to throw. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Stafford. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. 7 yards, the pickup there. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
2nd down from the 8. They can get a 1st down by reaching the 5. Stafford going to give to Akers on the draw. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Cam Akers, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Rams have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
A big play coming now for the Rams as they'll go for 2. Stafford's going to try and throw for it. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Buffalo set to get the football back here. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here. How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
There we go.
So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll run on 1st down. Singletary, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll try and run down some clock with Johnson. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. Now Allen. And he completes it to the tight end Knox. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And they'll indeed take a knee. On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November. I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.